A lot's happened since yesterday!
Welcome to another, come on, camera. Another edition of A Lot's Happened Since Yesterday. I am Cody Walker.
I'm Ralph Busso.
Go ahead, Tyler. You can do it.
I'm Tyler Ransom.
Yeah, dude, we just ad-libbed that. Don't feel bad. Tyler Ransom is with us today. And it's funny, Ralph, when I was, we're relatively new at the podcasting genre. We're not new at the entertainment genre, but this whole podcasting thing. And I'm already learning weird stuff, how, you'll get one person, you talk to people, you're just finding some stuff. And I reached out, I was trying to reach out to Mr. Diamond Dallas Page, and I met with Tyler's dad, Marlon. Shout out to Marlon. And he goes, yeah, no. And I was like, okay, thanks, Marlon. And he goes, yeah, but wait. He goes, I love what you guys do, but he goes, I got a guy. And he goes, check this dude out. And I'm starting to realize no matter what we do, dude, there's going to be stories to find. And Tyler is a perfect example of what we're doing and what we've been trying to find. And I'm really thankful that Marlon thought out of the box and said, no, talk to my son. He's the man. Tyler, let's talk about you now that I've pumped you up a little bit and talked about you. Because, sir, how old are you?
I'm 19 years old, 19 years young.
19 years young. I mean, no offense, dude. You're a baby in this industry, man. You're a baby in the world. And you've got a story, bro. He's a young musician. He's a guitar player. Your dad tugged on my guitar player strings. I was like, oh yeah.
Oh, your guitar. Oh boy.
No, I've been in. What?
I was wondering if that was going to go anywhere. Where you were going with that little,
I'm doing the intro, and I'm letting. To quote Tyler already, I'm letting the wave flow, dude. I'm riding the wave.
Nice segue.
I'm being fair. Segue. I'm feeling very zen in here. But Tyler has already been part of authoring a book. He's already been part of a documentary. He's going to. You're going to school for musician, yeah? For music.
I'm going to school for music.
Where is that?
That's correct. I'm going to school in New York. Leaving next week, actually.
Shut
New
up.
School, Manhattan.
Good Lord. Good. So, like I said, 19 years old, and the adventures are already beginning, man.
Aren't you a little bit worried about the whole COVID situation out there? I'm just curious.
Yeah, a little bit worried. They're taking a lot of extensive measures. So once I move in there, I have to quarantine for 14 days, and then they test us weekly. But I do it for the music. I'm excited.
Right on. I noticed you got a Jimi Hendrix poster back there.
I do. I also have a Bruce Lee poster. So
that's Bruce Lee. Oh, okay, cool.
We're very zen up here, just trying to spread the good vibes. Just
love both of them, man. I love Jimi Hendrix and I love Bruce Lee. Absolutely. So we got something in common right off the bat. That was cool. I was going to ask you if he's a big influence on your playing.
Yeah,
I know it's a slightly different style, obviously. Because what do you play? Jazz?
Mainly jazz and blues.
Do you play a little bit of blues? You do? Okay, cool.
Oh yeah.
I love some good old fashioned blues, man.
Well, and Jimmy, come on. I mean, Jimmy goes, he's the master of rock, but Jimmy was the heart of blues. I mean, he had so many. He was the pentatonic god, dude. Come on. But
he used to set himself on fire. I think he did light up his guitar on stage, though.
He did.
Yeah, wasn't that at Woodstock?
He did, yeah.
No, that was not he did it at Woodstock? I can't remember, dude.
That's okay.
Okay, so where did you get what turned you on to guitar? Like, at what point did you go bam?
So I was in actually I was in band in middle school. I played saxophone for a bit, and then I think it was in 8th grade. I had this huge afro, and my friends started calling me Jimi Hendrix. I didn't really know what that meant, so then I went home. I searched Jimi Hendrix on YouTube.
Oh, really?
I came across the video of him setting his guitar on fire. And, I was hooked. I was like, this is a level of cool and expression that I have never seen in my life. So the next week I bought a Fender acoustic guitar, and it all started there.
That's awesome. It's always good to hear a young man or woman that are, looking to get started in the entertainment industry, or whether it's just they want to be a musician or what they're looking to do. Doesn't really matter. The point is they have a dream and they're on the road towards that dream. When you find out that there's so many influences that they don't even know about, like you didn't know about Jimi Hendrix, right? But yet what a major influence he became on you once you found out who he was.
Yeah.
You know, so it's always cool to hear that because, you know, the generations don't always have things in common. And it's good when you see a younger generation that has more in common with the older guys as well. Now I dated us, Cody.
Now you dated
YouTube's-
yourself.
Yeah, YouTube's definitely done that in regards to just like I could pull up videos of like practically any musician in any time period, and it's like on there. So I'm grateful for that. It's definitely a tool that I've learned to use more of.
It is super cool. I will admit that. At first I was like, really? You're gonna look up every little bit of information you need to know about through YouTube? But then I started doing it myself and I'm like, wow, this is actually really helpful.
Well, and you
Some
fall
people
down-
actually know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Well, you fall down those rabbit holes and you go, you know, oh, I found this one little thing about Jimi Hendrix. I must know everything about Jimi Hendrix. And the next thing you know, 3 hours have gone up and, you know, you've watched every little documentary and
Exactly.
Wow.
That's like exactly what happened to me.
yeah.
So your dad's in the entertainment business. What does your dad do exactly for Diamond Dallas Page? Is he his
So-
agent or is he his manager? Or?
Yeah, something like that. So like, you know, he books the different interviews. He just like, you know, makes sure that Diamond is on his grind, you know. He's like a big manager, big booker, mainly like those two worlds, but his foot's like in many different areas. Yeah, but it's crazy the work that he does with Dallas.
That's awesome, man. I guess you got someone in your corner when you're ready to launch your career in a bigger way. You know what I mean? How'd you get into doing the documentary? I thought that was interesting.
Thank you. Yeah. Again, you know, a big portion of it was my dad's idea. First, we started off, I published a book when I was 16 with him. We co-authored a book about my 5 steps to being positive, growing up with a kidney illness.
Oh.
And then with the success of that book, we were like, how can we make an impact on a grander scale? And my dad was like, maybe we should just do a documentary. And I was like, oh, that's pretty intense. And then he was like, no pain, no gain.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, next thing you know, we set our mind to it and we got it done in about like a year or so. And yeah, the impact's definitely been a lot bigger on a grander scale. And you know, just very appreciative for all the support and the change that we're doing.
What's the documentary called?
In the Shed.
In the what?
In the Shed. So it's like
In the shed. Okay.
it's like a phrase that musicians use sometimes because like
okay.
the shed is like where we go to practice. So,
Right,
like,
right,
sometimes-
That
Yeah.
caught my eye
Yeah.
in that when he sent me the
Cody uses that a lot.
That's what I'm saying. When I joined Serpent with him, they would go, "Oh, you know that?" And I'll go, "Yeah, I got to go woodshed that." And they'd look at me and go,
Yeah.
"What the hell did?" Finally, they're like, "What does that mean?" And I dawned on me like, "Oh shit, it means I got to go practice, man." You know, like, and it did when I saw the name of that documentary. I was like, "Oh, these are my people. These are my tribe." Like I was going
Shit.
right back into my jazz band days. And you used to play sax, so you had to get in big band and all that kind
Exactly.
of stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, my upbringing was like Count Basie band, Charlie Parker, Ornette Coleman, people like that. So it was like a bit of a change going to all that to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, you and I are like the reverse because I came up on the Beatles and Jimmy and all the 60s. That's when my parents, and then when I went into college, I started and I had to go and audition for a jazz band. You know how quickly my head exploded when I saw a sharp 9, flat 11, whatever. You know, I'm like, I don't even know what. Everybody told me I had to count to 12. What's a 13? You know, you know? So it was an entirely different world. You know, so I understand. Plus, you went from saxophone to guitar.
I did.
And wait, I forgot. What'd you say? How old you were when you went to there?
I was about 13.
Yeah, dude. We went pew, and I had to learn jet. I love that shit, man.
So who's your favorite jazz performer? You have one? Other than yourself?
No, it's pretty other than myself. At the moment, I've been listening to a lot of like live Wes Montgomery albums.
Wes is
In
insane.
quarantine, he's definitely been like a big influence. Just listening, I picked up like on a lot of like Grant Green and like Kenny Burrell, but who remains on top is Wes Montgomery right now. I just find his like phrasing just really like
Yeah, he goes everywhere. And there's still, I mean, I don't even consider myself a jazz guy. I dabble in jazz, I'll say. I'm more blues and rock, obviously, but
Oh, Cody's being humble right now.
Yeah.
I am. I do. I mean, I will admit, I do play everything, hashtag I'm awesome. But I do play everything, again, classical, and, I'm just saying, there's a little bit of everything, but no. But in terms of, like, I don't think I've shut up. I don't think I've truly, like, I don't remember except for when I was in jazz band, and even then, it was rough to get me to study, like, hardcore study jazz. I learned mainly from, guys like Wes Montgomery, and listening and trying to. Mike Stern was my boy back in the day, dude. I would always listen to that stuff. But he had a lot of rock influences as well, But when they start throwing in those extensions and the augmented stuff really caught my ear. But if for whatever reason, I'll use it, but I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know why. I can put a lot of shit into practice and theory, but my brain cannot wrap around augmented. I can tell you what it is. I can talk about it, but I don't know. It shuts me down hard.
It's an acquired taste.
It is. It's weird. My friend used to always say, dude, don't worry. Once is a mistake. Twice is jazz.
Exactly.
What? Okay.
If you go at it,
Twice.
dude, Tyler will admit, if you're in the middle of an improv session and you hit a note and somebody looks up and you just keep bending the note, all of a sudden you're being artistic. And
Yeah,
eventually in that
I
bend,
got
you'll
it.
find a note that fits in the key. That's a Jimmy move, dude.
Yeah, it's confidence, It's like when you walk, like, if you walk the walk, you can talk the talk.
Yeah.
It's same thing with music. If you keep playing it off, you'll be like, oh, like he's playing like some like sharp 14th or something.
Yeah, because people will, when you're in jazz too, people are trying to reason out your theory a lot of times, because there's a lot of theory behind jazz. There's a lot of thought. You mentioned your illness. Let's get into that for a second. What is your illness?
So I have a kidney illness called nephrotic syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Basically affects my kidneys. Basically, so how kidneys filter your urine? Basically, I pee out the good stuff and the bad stuff stays in my body. So my kidneys filtering system goes on and off and doesn't really work all the way. That's what nephrotic syndrome does. It's not really a cure right now, so I have to take a lot of medications. Had it since I was 18 years old. 18 months. Oh my goodness. And then, yeah, that's really it. It's brought a lot of adversity. I've learned a lot of lessons through it, but yeah, it's.
What are your symptoms? I mean,
symptom. No.
Yeah.
For a graph.
No, go ahead. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wanted to know what your symptoms were.
No.
How bad do they get?
So sometimes it results to my kidneys don't exactly filter out a lot of my protein. So then I end up swelling up and I gain 15 to 30 pounds of excess fluid. We call that a relapse. So normally then I have to go to the hospital and they have to give me a lot of medication so I can start peeing a lot. And then it's really it.
Wow. That sounds like something that would be rough to get through. My hat's off to you, bro, even though I don't wear a hat. But if I did, I would take it off for you right now, I swear. No, that's crazy. I know. Well, I'm just saying, dude, he's got to go to the hospital. He gains 15 to 30 pounds. That's what a pain in the ass. Let's be honest.
Well, and it can't be comfortable either. I mean, it's
no.
And how now when it happens, is it like an overnight? Do you go to sleep fine and wake up just ballooned out, or it's really
Basically.
that quick? Fuck.
Yeah. So sometimes it's always anxious waking up because I don't know the next day I'll be if I'll be super puffy, because the thing is these 15 to 30 pounds of excess fluid they go all over my body. So
Right.
I just puff up. My eyes are swollen shut. My legs are too swollen. I can't fit into my pants. It's a trip,
Oh, wow.
to say the least.
Oh,
Damn, dude. But the plus,
No,
I mean,
that sucks, bro.
I mean, if you're gonna find, it's not necessarily a life-threatening illness, but it's not necessarily you can get. You're just gonna be dealing with it your entire. Is that what you're saying?
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah. There's not really there's not a cure yet. So for
They
the time
don't,
being, it's just taking different types of medication, just trying to test the waters.
Right.
So don't they do kidney replacements and stuff like that, or is that something that's not an option?
No, yeah, they do transplants and things like that, but it's not necessarily an option for what I have. Because the thing is, if hypothetically, if I do get a transplant and a new kidney comes in, the cells in my body would actually attack the new kidney, and it would be like a continuous loop.
Wow. Oh, shit. So is it an autoimmune disorder?
Something like that. Well, I'm not gonna go out and say like stuff because like I don't know. I don't want to like screw it up.
That's fair.
But like it's yeah.
That's okay, dude. We already screwed this whole thing up already. So
English, come on.
people are gonna be going, man, that dude's intelligent, that Tyler guy. But those other two guys, what the heck were they talking about the whole time? It didn't make any sense.
No.
No, we're just trying to have some fun with you, bud. You're into the martial arts as well, I see.
Into the martial arts.
What got you into that? Obviously, the poster behind you, right? Bruce Lee, is that what got you in?
Oh, Bruce Lee, sorry.
No, you're good.
What'd you say?
You said the poster behind him, and I was like, Jimi Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix got me into martial arts. My dad enrolled me in kinder karate actually at a really young age, and then
I didn't know they had anything like that. What's that all about?
So it's basically karate for like a bunch of like 5-year-olds.
It's like kindergarten, but for beating people up, man.
Yeah, we're all just like screaming and like kicking boards and things like that.
Wow, that sounds like regular kindergarten to me. But
you grew up in the Bronx, though. That's different.
That's true.
Yeah, a tiny bit different. But I went from that, then I went to Muay Thai for a bit, and then I wanted to focus on something more grappling. And then my dad was like, maybe you should just try jiu-jitsu. And then I started jiu-jitsu at a really young age as well. And that stuck with me. And I've been doing it for about like over 10 years now. And that's been...
You started with one of the Gracies, correct? Is that true?
I did, yeah.
Okay. How was that?
Henry Gracie. It was great. They became like family. They were really caring. Whenever like when my body swells up, we call that a relapse. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I'd still go to jiu-jitsu with the relapse, and they took the time. They were like, "Hey, if you need anything, we're here," and it was really cool of them.
Awesome.
I have noticed that, especially honestly, in jiu-jitsu and in music, you kind of both of those lanes. We're supportive of our crew. We really are. I mean, even I watched the documentary. I noticed you rolled with Eddie Bravo too. And naturally, yeah. I'm a big fan. I'm Rogan fan, so I know who Eddie is and all that stuff. But, even listening to him and all the stuff he's done over the years, it's so supportive of who he backs. The Gracies are the same way. If you get in with them and you do what they're doing, they got your back, man.
But they get you on your back first.
Well, yeah. They're like, well, see how I can kill you? I'm not going to. That kind of...
And you're like, man, I like this guy.
We must be best friends.
He practically saved my life. No, anyways,
he almost took it, but then he saved it. So, it's a catch-22.
Well, all I can say, Tyler, is I'm glad you know the martial arts because you're going to need it going where you're going. You said you're going to New York, right? To continue your music training, right? Mm-hmm. So I know that's exciting, but at the same time, I used to live in New York.
Right.
So don't get too excited. No, it can be rough. There's a lot of rough areas. I haven't been out there in a long time, so I have no idea. Maybe they cleaned it up a bit. But I do know that they're having a lot of problems with the COVID spread, and I think they're having more fatalities, right? What do you think, Cody? You know about it.
Dude, it's just a shit show over there. Not over there, everywhere. I mean, it's a shit show.
What's that noise?
Yeah, sorry about that. My roof's getting like redone. My mom. That's awesome. That's how I've been waking up like the past like month.
Oh my Lord.
Like 5 a.m. they start. I told them to stop doing it right now, like in this hour, but I guess so I'm sorry.
It is what it is. We'll make the best of it, dude.
I just didn't know where it was coming from. I just wanted to check. At your age, that's really exciting because New York is a huge city. So if you've been living, where do you currently reside?
Yeah, so I'm going to be going to Greenwich Village, like Manhattan.
Okay. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you'll like Greenwich Village.
You live in LA?
I live in LA. Sorry, I wasn't sure. It's hard to see
it's cool,
contact.
Dude. Well,
I couldn't live in LA.
It's not as big of a transition then, because if you're already out in LA, then you're already used to the big city and the lifestyle. Just be careful when you take the subways, because there's a lot of people, especially nowadays, I'm sure, like the name of the show is, a lot's happened since yesterday. So people are really stressed out. The ones that still have their jobs and they have to go into their jobs every day, they're having to deal with watching people around them get this COVID-19 thing. At first, when this started, I didn't know anybody who got it. And then some of my family members in New York City came down with it, but one of them did die.
Shit.
Yeah, he's an uncle of mine that passed away.
Sorry.
Yeah, but my one of my other uncles and one of my aunts, they actually recuperated. So, but they were really sick for a while. So it's kind of just a scary thought going into a situation like that. But at the same time, you got a lot of heart, bro. Just take care of yourself, take precautions, and go out there and set the world on fire. Honestly.
Well, I wonder how they're going to handle that, though, because with the COVID and stuff, they're obviously going to have to find a way to mitigate the overcrowding of the subways. So I wonder how they're going to meet that. That's going to be an interesting... It might be completely different after all this shit clears up, dude. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. All I was trying to say with that earlier, too, was that I think everybody's... what's the word for it? Anxiety, I guess. Everybody's anxiety levels are kind of high right now. So I was driving home earlier today, and I swear to God, I saw two in the same block. There was this long line of cars, and in that same like strip, I saw two guys getting out of cars, getting ready to throw down. And then I kept going, and there was another dude that was like reaching into the window like aggressively to this person. I'm like, whoa, I ignored it because that's none of my business. I'm not going to get involved.
Yeah.
And people are crazy nowadays. But yeah, I noticed that. So yeah, COVID's got everybody a little bit anxious, I think. So the best thing to do is, just take the precautions and keep living your life. That's all I can say. There's nothing we can do about shutdowns. Have you been playing gigs? Have you played any gigs since the COVID thing kicked in, or?
Yeah, no, it's I've just been spending a lot of time in the shed. I was telling Cody earlier, it was like, oh man, like I've just been this is me every day, just practicing guitar in my room. Oh, so I'll get it back in the frame. I'm just like this, just the whole time.
Nice.
That's it.
I see
I
your
could look
guitar
wrong
right
out of
there.
contact.
What kind of guitar is that?
This is a D'Angelico Deluxe Atlantic.
Oh wow,
God, that's a
Or
cool.
really
screen.
nice guitar, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you. It
Is
brings
that
out my
hollow,
eyes.
semi-hollow? Is that solid? I couldn't tell.
No,
Was there an
it's-
F hole in it?
It's a solid
Oh,
body.
sorry.
No, you're good.
So, are you planning to start your own band? Are you planning to join a band when you get out there? What are you looking to do?
Yeah. So
New York people,
I'm gonna
listen
think
up.
of
This
how to-
guy's coming to New York soon. You're gonna need him.
yeah. So I had in high school I had a band called Tyler Ransom and the Handsoms for a bit.
Mhm.
We went around Los Angeles. We played
Tyler and the
Jimi Hendrix
Handsoms?
covers. Yeah, Tyler Ransom and the Handsoms.
Dude, epic. Love it.
And that went on for a while, and then eventually, we all had to go our separate ways because just like school in general, it was crazy. So then that sort of made me up my songwriting and just self-production. And then, I released an album at 16 by myself. And then, I spent quarantine, besides practicing, I've also been writing a lot. And I'm excited to say, I have an album coming out in February, my second album, which is insane.
What's it called?
Nice.
Ends Well. I've been reading a lot of Shakespeare. It's inspired by his play All's Well That Ends Well.
Nice.
His different take on platonic love. So that spoke to me, and I was like, ends well. I like that. And basically my long way of answering that question. I'm not necessarily looking for a band once I head to New York, but I'm just excited to be in a group of like different creatives and like try different sounds and just grow as like a person and as an artist.
Right on, dude. That's the way to go, man.
So you're considering just like having a solo career?
I think so.
Yeah.
Just writing solo.
Are you
Right
focusing
on.
strictly on like blues and like jazz? Or are you going to kind of be like a singer-songwriter eclectic? No, I heard you like John Mayer. You're going to be all over the place, huh?
Yeah, a little bit,
Yeah.
not to like hit one area specifically, but like I'm just willing to like just try everything,
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's the way to go. Well, and especially nowadays, dude. The music, what was it, Scummy? I can't remember. One of our guys we were just talking to recently. We were talking about how there really is no strict style anymore. I mean, for every person who goes, "Oh, I'm a jazz player," they throw in blues licks, and for every person who says, "I'm a rock player," they start throwing in, jazz licks, and it's all starting to become one form. I think it was Scum Love. He even said, he goes, "Why can't we just start calling it music?" Because there are, like Tyler's doing, I just want to play music. I want to be my stuff. It doesn't have to be one thing,
Well, we're metal guys, so.
Well, we're old though, dude. He's the next generation. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
no, but what I'm saying is, as far as to your point, what you were talking about earlier, basically about the genre thing. You know what I mean? Why can't we just call it music?
Right.
He had mentioned that because we're metal, we're in the metal community. There's like a ton of subgenres there. You know what I mean? You just don't just go up and people say, "Oh, you're a musician. What do you play?" "Oh, I play guitar and I play jazz." Fairly simply enough.
Yeah.
If they ask you the same thing, you're like, "Oh, I'm a singer in a metal band." "Oh, really? Well, what's it all about?" You know what I mean? I would be like, well, here's the thing. There's so many sub-genres that I don't like to tell people, well, a lot of people say we fall into this category.
Right.
Or a lot of people say we fall into that category. So a lot of times I'll just say heavy metal, hard rock, and that's it. Keep those subgenres to yourself, man. Yeah. There's way too many of them, So anyways, I kind of got off on a tangent.
No, but you're right, though. I mean, we, in the metal scene, we have we were talking about hardcore, metalcore, all of this kind of crap. And then, jazz doesn't have as many. Jazz does it well, because if you play jazz and then you play bebop, that is two separate fucking sounds, because they are going to be going everywhere, and if you play blues, it's not going to be a bebop song. Jazz does a jazz does well at labeling styles, but they kind of need to. Metal gets a little crazy, because it's like, if you're a hardcore band, you scream into the mic, you have really dirty vocals. You don't need to be a grindcore versus metalcore. You're heavy. Let's just move on, to me. And I'm a metal guy. I'm not trying to be like down with the metal guys, but we get a little crazy with.
Yeah, there was always something. They always felt the need for some reason to put a label on it. Yeah. Genre wise, like new metal, alternative metal. There's all kinds of stuff. The stuff you mentioned.
Yeah.
But I love all kinds of music. I really do. I even listen to pop sometimes. It just depends on my mood. So I can appreciate what you're doing there, Tyler. I'd love to listen to you jam a little bit. Do you have anything on YouTube that we can check out, or our viewers can check out?
Yeah, Tyler Ransom on YouTube, basically. Very straightforward. I do little guitar loops. No, I'm not gonna say little guitar loops. I'm proud of them. Oh man, they're not big guitar loops, but like. They make me happy. What really got a lot of people's attention. My first year in university, I went to UC Davis, and instead of going to parties every night and everything, I'd spend time in my room and I'd just work on Frank Ocean loops and just soloing over different chords. And I did that every night. My roommates were going crazy, because every night it would just be the same thing, me just practicing the same chords, the same scales. And I'd film these and I'd put them on YouTube. And they started to reach a bunch of people, and that's how it really steamrolled, and I started to realize, oh, this could become like a business, this could be my life now. But Tyler Ransom on YouTube. That was a long way of answering the question again, but
that's what we're here for, fine, bro. Tell us your story.
So you consider yourself a content creator as well, or just an addition that puts stuff on YouTube? Oh
man, you know what? I just consider myself, for the time being, just someone who's still just trying to find their way in the music scene. There's so many different like you said, subcategories and career paths to fall into, and I'm not necessarily sure which one I'm ready to fully commit to, which is another reason why I'm just so open to just anything, just trying to figure out what my niche is, and how I can gear that into my future.
Do you still play the sax?
Yeah, on occasion, from time to time.
You're
you
not
know,
hardcore
especially-
practicing.
Not hardcore,
Yeah.
not in the shed.
Yeah.
Not in the shed.
Not in the
Yeah.
shed. You play outside of the shed on that one. Make sure it's not raining.
Dude, that's what. But the
Exactly.
thing is I've always loved the sax. I just never had the time, or I never put the time in. But you always see, like, even fucking back in the day, you had the Simpsons where Lisa's just like, and there's just something about the saxophone where you're right. You don't even need to be in the shed. Just go stand on the corner and play some scales with some soul, and you make some money. There's something about that sax, dude.
You could just get on steroids and start playing music in the Tina Turner music videos. Remember that one dude?
Yes.
Oh my God. That guy was like all yoked out and shit. And he's all, always had his shirt
But
off.
he played the shit out of a saxophone.
He did. He really did. He really did.
Tyler, if you had to pick, who's your top 5 favorite non-jazz artists? And Jimi Hendrix doesn't count because we already established that one.
We did.
Yeah.
Right. Stevie Ray Jones. Quincy Jones. Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay, good.
Quincy
There
Jones.
we go.
There we go.
My bad. Sorry. Oh my, that's embarrassing. Oh no. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Quincy Jones.
Wait. And take 2.
Okay.
So,
sorry.
so Tyler, who is your favorite 5 favorite non-jazz artists? Not counting Jimi Hendrix.
Cody, that's a really good question. Let me think in depth before I open my mouth. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Quincy Jones, John Mayer. Oh wait, no jazz artists, right?
Well, I'll give John because John plays freaking everything, dude. He's technically
Okay.
blues.
Technically blues. Tyler the Creator. I'll say that.
Nice.
And then Frank Ocean.
Righteous.
Okay, let's do a little speed round here. Let's pick things up, shall we?
Lightning round.
Tyler, what's your favorite movie? Go.
Enter the Dragon, Bruce Lee. Posters there.
Really? Seriously?
Big inspiration.
Wow.
The
That's
big
your favorite movie of all time?
of all time. Yeah.
Really?
Sometimes, like, when I need a creative boost again, I pull up that. It's just something about watching, like, Bruce Lee, like, destroy, like, an entire camp of, like, black belts. It, like, speaks to me. That's also another thing, like, during quarantine, it's been hard, just waking up and then practicing guitar and then going back to bed. And then, the same thing over and over. It's hard to, like, stay in that creative space.
Yeah.
I found that a lot of times while, like, trying to write songs and practice. And, I found myself going back to this movie a lot as well. Besides listening to Wes Montgomery, I was watching a bunch of just Bruce Lee movies. And, like, just that definitely gave me, like, the creative boost I needed, which is weird because, like, normally, like, people got into, like, baking and things like that. But my niche was, like, just watching, like, old movies.
Well, there really is nothing wrong with that because I actually think watching a Bruce Lee movie, and this is why I think this, that the man was just, he was beyond driven. You know what I mean? His body was his temple and he worked out every single day, his whole life. I'm sure he took very good care of himself and he took his, the martial arts very seriously, and the movie making too, because I think that was a big thing that he had wanted to do, and then he was very successful. So I can see why that would inspire you. Totally.
Of course. Yeah. That was, to answer your question, that was a big inspiration, just a big creative, driven person. And, like, it speaks to me. It definitely resonates through those films, which is why they probably affected me the way they do.
Nice.
Right on. Go ahead, Cody.
Oh, I was waiting
What were you
to
gonna
see
ask?
if you had a lightning question round 2.
Oh, another lightning one, right? Okay, let me think about this for a second. Well, we'll
Not
do a
so
simple
lightning
one.
round.
So you said you studied like several forms of martial arts, right?
Several forms. Correct.
Okay. Was jiu-jitsu one of them?
Jiu-jitsu was one of them.
Okay. So which was your favorite?
Key things I remember from different things. Like, I remember karate was just, there was a lot of yelling and, like, I don't know if you could tell, but I'm like a very mellow person.
Yeah,
So
I was
yelling
going to
was
tell you to
very,
quiet down a couple times over the show.
so yelling, it was just hard for me to, like, punch and, like, scream. And then Muay Thai was just, like, super excruciating. I remember we'd have, like, like 5-hour sessions, and like by the end of it, it's a very like elbow and knee heavy martial art. So like my knees would just like be aching in the end of sessions, and I'd just be like super tired. My body would be sore the next day, and I'd be like in 5th grade, and everyone would be like, how come you're walking like that? And I'd be like, you wouldn't understand. And Bruce Leeing it. And then at jiu-jitsu, it's like chess, like mental chess, as you're grappling and you're like trying to outmaneuver your opponent, which is why it like resonates with me so much, and why like I encourage everyone who like trying to find the passion. Well, I guess not right now, because given the circumstances, but I encourage everyone to try out jiu-jitsu, because it's like it's insane. It's insane, especially if you like chess. Yeah.
Marlon, do you like chess?
I like chess. Yeah. Have
chess?
You guys seen Queen's Gambit?
I have not.
Yes, I was watching. Isn't it a series or is it a movie?
Series. I haven't watched it. It's just my parents are watching it.
I started watching it because I like chess, and I thought it'd be interesting because it's based on a true story, isn't it? I think so. I know. I remember hearing about this one chess player. He was really young, and he was like one of the best in the world. He won all these tournaments, and they do the speed chess. I don't know if you like that or not. I like the regular, take your time and think about what you're going to do chess. But there's the speed chess where you have the clock and you hit it, and then the other person has so much time, boom. And whoever has the upper hand, I think, is how it works, right? By the end of the clock running out. I think that's how it works. I never got too much into that, but that's crazy that you like, you like a lot of, really interesting things. You're a pretty deep guy, Tyler.
Here's an interesting thing before we get off of the chess thing, because it just dawned on me. I just had a quick thing. You were talking about what's the name of the movie? The chess movie with the kid searching for Bobby Fischer.
Bobby Fischer, that's the guy I was thinking of.
But the kid in the movie, his name is Josh Waitzkin. Okay. Now, the reason I say that is, interestingly enough, the kid who was featured in that movie was a crazy chess kid. What he ended up doing, though, he's currently, if I'm not mistaken, a world champion level martial arts instructor, and got into he left chess and got into jiu-jitsu, and now that's what he's doing. So oddly enough, it still really does all tie together, because that.
There we go.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, man. It's all that mentality stuff, It's weird. What were you going to say, Rob? I didn't mean to cut you off, but that just hit my brain about that kid.
No, I was just going to ask Tyler what his plans are for once this COVID-19 thing gets under control, I should say, because I don't know if it's ever going to go away or not. But if they can get it under control, then we can start going out again and resuming normal lives. Yeah. Do you have any plans? Are you starting to think about what you're going to do when that happens?
Yeah. So another thing about quarantine, I've just been alongside writing, I've just been planning on my plans for next year. And I was doing one thing at a time. Now that I finished the album, it's just been teasing it, getting ready for that rollout. And I released my first single last week, actually, off of it, Back to You, which is available everywhere. The response has been insane. I really appreciate it all. And then I'm listening to another song in January, and then album in February, and then basically just like a virtual rollout. And then hopefully when COVID ends, to start playing some live shows, some small things, just at university, and just grow from there.
Well, if you're moving out to New York, Greenwich Village area, that's a perfect place to get something started with other musicians. Whether you consider yourself a band or not, that's all on you and the other people you work with. But there's a lot of musicians out there. A lot of them are very eclectic as well. Style. You should have a good time, man. I think it's going to be a real growing experience for you. It's going to open up your eyes. Yeah. Pretty trippy, dude. I wish you the best of luck and success with your career, man. You're welcome to come on this show anytime you want 100%. To. Ladies and gentlemen, just so that we remind you guys, this is Tyler Ransom right here. He's got a YouTube channel. Check him out.
Do you have a website, Tyler?
Badass.
Yeah, TylerRansom.com. On Instagram is @soulfulplaying, because I play with soul and I like to play guitar.
Look at you.
Check out In the Shed on Amazon Prime, and Ends Well coming out in February.
Oh, and what's the name of your book, dude? We skimmed on it. What was the name of your book?
Oh, my bad. Chronically Positive.
Chronically Positive. I'm going to have to read that.
Yeah, that sounds documentary.
People, do not sleep on Tyler. This kid's coming. I'm telling you right now. Yeah. Tyler.
Yeah, he's going places. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, jazz guitarist. I mean, author. And what did you call it?
Awesome.
Oh, awesomeness.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, technically, you made a documentary, right? Did you have a big part of the process in that? Were you like directing it?
Yeah, I wasn't directing it, but I helped my dad with like the pacing and like all the different editing formats just to make sure that it flowed correctly. But my dad, he did the heavyweight. I was just like, not gonna say the backseat driver, but I was there on occasion. Yeah.
Well, that's cool, bro. I guess we'll let you go, brother. Thanks for coming on the show.
No, thank you guys.
Everybody.
It was a fun time. It was such a fun time. I appreciate it all.
You have an open door policy, my brother. We will have you back when your album drops, and we'll send us shit, dude. We'll push it for sure.
Yeah. Hit us up when you get out there to New York and let us know how things are going.
Yeah,
Of
for
course.
sure. Everybody, do not sleep. Go follow Tyler. He's going to be doing big things as soon as COVID lets us the fuck out of this house. I'm looking forward. We're going to be following you, dude. Keep at it. You're going to be
Thank
great.
you.
Until
I
next time,
appreciate it.
people, check out Tyler. Check out Ravenscroft. Check out everything. I don't care what it is. Go check it out. We will catch you next time. Peace.
Later.
Peace out.